this, suppose you see this is water. So this is a raw water fire water pond. Now this large plants, large industrial plants, they have a very high water requirement to carry out different processes, water required for cleaning, for watering of the plants or everything. So much water is required which may not be available from the local government, local municipal corporation or Jilla Parishad, whatever. So they require to depend on the water. So best way, what they do, instead of draining out that water into nearby sea, lake or river, they make, if there is a sufficient area available, they make a raw water fire water reservoir inside a plot, and all the storm water drains are end, they end, that networks end into this. They collect this water. This is in a way a best method of rainwater harvesting. This is rainwater is clean water in the sense it doesn't have any hazardous impurity like oil and chemicals. It can have little mud or little soil. When it is collected in the raw water fire water pond, that soil settles down and little cleaner water floats above, which is used for some processes or for some cleaning. Okay, so the invert level of the last drain entering this should be above this raw water fire water pond. And this raw water fire water pond, as the name suggests, that water, raw water, is used for cleaning and doing process or for watering the plants, and fire water is used to extinguish the fire. It is very difficult to depend on the local government's fire brigade system to extinguish if there are large fires in the plant. So they have their own system. The same rainwater from the gutters which they collect in this fire water pond, they use to extinguish the fire. So again, going back to the 5 types of drain networks and their disposal points. So as I said, stormwater drains, which doesn't have harmful impurities, it can have little mud or soil in it. It is having a separate network. This network is generally on the sides of the roads, either sides of the roads, and it is connected to the, it is poured out or it is disposed either into a nearby natural water body designated by the local government, or it is poured into or disposed into or collected into a raw water fire water reservoir. This is one system we require to design. Second system is CRWS. CRWS is contaminated rainwater sewers. This is also a stormwater drain. It is also a rainwater, but it is contaminated. Suppose when the rainwater falls on the industrial plant buildings, the lot of processes are happening in it. Processes means chemical reactions, either heating, cooling, or mixing of two chemicals, evaporating. So many processes are happening and final products are being produced. In that process building, if there is a rainfall, and that rainfall may dissolve, that water may have some dissolved impurities, which is not just soil or mud, but it can be some chemicals. And these contaminated rainwater system network is certainly different from the purer stormwater drain network. They cannot be mixed with it, and it is not drained, not allowed to drain into natural water body, natural river, lake or sea, neither into raw water fire water reservoir, but it is taken to the ETP, which is effluent treatment plant. And here it is treated in the effluent treatment plant. The impurities are removed. Now the clearer water may be collected, sent back. There will be another system or another mesh of networks from effluent treatment plant to the raw water fire water reservoir. The clearer water is stored in this. The impurities will be removed and treated. They'll be nullified. All the hazardous effects of those chemicals will be nullified, and then they will be thrown, disposed of. So this is the contaminated rainwater system. There is one more type of drain network, that is oily water sewers, OWS we call it. Oily water sewers will be there generally only in oil and gas refinery industrial plants. If it is some chemical plant or fertilizer plant or metallurgical plant, it may not have oily contaminated water. So oily water sewers are also neither mixed with this contaminated rainwater nor with storm water, but there is a separate system, and they are also connected to effluent treatment plant. They are disposed to the in the effluent treatment plant. Many times these oily water sewers, they pass through the oil recovery or oily water separators, and oil is recovered from that, it is removed, and the water, if it is clean, it can be connected to raw water fire water reservoir, and that oil is cleaned and treated and used for whatever purpose it can be used. So this is the third way of network system. There are PDs also, which is process drains. So process drains, and then in the bracket I have written CBD and OD. CBD is close, blow down, and OD is the oily drain. So what is process drain? Process is, it is having a contaminated process or chemicals in it. So these process drains, they are often sent to the underground drums and then they are disposed of. What is close blow down? It is a big thing, like basically suppose boilers are boiling water. There are boilers in there are many equipments in a industrial plant, and many processes are happening in all those equipments. Some of the equipments are just storage equipments, and in some equipment some process is happening. Now suppose there is a boiler and it boils water, and continuous evaporation is happening and steam is collected, and that steam is used in some process. Now when this boiler is creating lot of steam, that time water in it, which is converted into steam, that can, water being soluble, lot of impurities can get dissolved in it, and as the vapor is produced, all those impurities settle in those boilers at the bottom, and we require to remove them. So they are flushed, and these are neither mixed with stormwater drains, they are neither mixed with CRWS nor OWS, and they are not taken to ETP also, but they are taken to some closed drums, underground drums, and then they are disposed of. So this system also we require to learn and understand it. And as I told you, in industrial building design, this underground drainage design and planning expertise are required all over the world. So it's certainly a blooming field. Next, and the last system is the sewers or sanitary drains. We call them SD. Now, not all the buildings or all the structures in the industrial plant, they are having human presence. Wherever the processes are happening or wherever there are tank farms or the storage of products is there, there the human presence is not there. But there are few buildings which have human occupancy. So all the walled and manned buildings, we say walled means those are having walls, and manned buildings, which wherever human presence is there, such walled and manned buildings, we require to provide toilets in them, because people are going to stay over there throughout the day in the shifts, maybe 8-hour 3 shifts. So such buildings, for example, what are those buildings? They are like substations, central control room, where the whole plant is controlled, sitting in that central control room. So this such manned buildings or occupancy buildings which have toilets, the wastewater from the toilets is taken to the sanitary drains. I call it SD, or they call it sewers also. And then this sanitary drains, of course, this sewers will not be connected neither to process drain, nor to oily water sewers, nor to contaminated drain, and of course not to stormwater drain also. So sewers are connected by different mesh of drains, a network of drains, sewer network, and the final disposal point is either a septic tank or a sewage treatment plant. So as a design engineer, we have to plan a separate system. We should know the capacity of sewers, We should know what is the size of toilets and what is the number of human occupancy. There are formulae to find the total sewage collected per day. Accordingly, we have to design the diameters and slopes of the sewers, and then we should connect them to the either to the septic tanks or to the sewage treatment plant. Going to the next. So what are the different bases for the types of drains network? I mean, for making the types, 5 types drains, the types depend on the source, the quantity, the location, shapes, material of construction. We call it MOC, material of construction. There are various parts in a drainage system network. There is road crossing also and disposal points. We require to do hydraulic design calculations. We have to find invert levels, and there are important values and checks to be done. So throwing little more point on these points. So I'm going back to this page. Now, stormwater drain network. What will be the typical material of construction? For stormwater drain, material of construction, the drains will be on the sides of the roads. They can be RCC drains, they can be PCC drains also, just plain cement concrete. They can be brick masonry or stone masonry drains also. If stone quarries are very easily available and lot of stone is cheaply available nearby, the client will insist on us to use stone masonry as a drain. Okay, so these are the materials, and if neither PCC, RCC, stone, brick masonry, fifth material of construction can be just excavated ditch in the earth. So they just cut the earth, and that can also act as a stormwater drain. Basically, many clients, if they are on the saving mode, they won't want to spend on the RCC of the drain also. So what they do, it is anyway clean water. Even if little water penetrates inside the soil, it is okay. So they may put just ditches, earthen ditches as the drains. So this is about the stormwater drain material of construction. The collection, the source of stormwater drains is from all the plots. And suppose the plot area is 100 meter by 100 meter, 1 unit plot. These industrial plants, they are large complexes and their areas will be in acres. It can be say 1 kilometer by 2 kilometer long large plot. And that large plot is divided into small unit plots. Each unit plots will have small buildings, few buildings where some process is happening. So each unit will have roads around it, and those roads will have stormwater drains on the sides of it running parallel to the roads. So such stormwater drains will collect water. The source will be from adjacent units. As I had shown in this diagram, suppose from this unit, this is a small unit plot, this is a large plot plan, and blue are the small plots. So from this unit, water is collected and it is going at this point in the drain. From this unit, it is going in this way. So these units are the source of the water. And what is the source? Another source is basically from where the water comes. Water will come either from a fire water. If for extinguishing fire, they pour water, spray water over here, all that water will get collected and it will be that fire water. It can be a rain water also. So there are formulae. If you know the formula, the quantity or discharge from any plot is C into I into A, where C is the runoff coefficient, I is the intensity of rainfall, local rainfall, and A is the area. So like this, the discharge is found in meter cube per second. Suppose from this unit, 1 meter cube per second is entering this drain. Now this drain input is 1 meter cube per second. This drain should have a capacity to hold that 1 meter cube per second. So this is a large plot, say 100 meter by 50 meter, and drain is hardly 500 mm wide or maybe 500 mm deep. So how to find the capacity of the drain? So we use different hydraulic formulas, 1 upon n, r raised to 2 by 3, s raised to 1 by 2 and all that. And we do the hydraulic design of the drain. So basically the input is calculated by the area formula or the runoff formula, and the design of drain is by hydraulic formula. And then we design the drains, its depth is increased, there is a slope provided as I shown in the cross section. So this is how the ditches are designed, or the storm water drains are designed based on these points. The source I told you, quantity how to find, I told you C into I into A, location from the unit plots, the shapes of the stormwater drains. Stormwater drains can be rectangular, trapezoidal, or semicircular. They can be V-shaped also if they are earthen ditches. Basically, material of construction I told you, then the parts in the drainage system, they'll be having a mesh of drains, and all these drains, when they cross a road, you have to give a special attention to it. These drains, stormwater drains, are generally open. They do not have cover because it is not having any fumes or any foul smell or any chemicals in it. So it is safe to keep them open. So when they cross a road, you cannot keep an open drain crossing a road. The tire of a vehicle passing on the road will go in it. So you require to cover them. So at the road crossing, what to do is also taught in this, is also designed by the design engineer for the drainage system. Either there will be hume pipes or the covered drains, or there will be culverts. So that way the road crossings required to be designed, and then they are disposed, as I told you, either in sea or in raw water, fire water pond. The hydraulic design calculation I told you, that 1 upon n r raised to 2 by 3, that formula we have to use. We have to find the invert levels. And again, going to this, here at the starting point, the invert level, that is depth below the ground level, this invert level will be highest. This will be the high point, and there will be the slope, and this will be end will be a low point. So these invert levels, you cannot have any invert level, there is a control over it. So these invert levels should not go inside the high flood level of a river or high tide level of a sea. So we have to keep it in mind. Accordingly, we have to keep on adjusting the slopes. There are important values also we require to check. Like suppose for stormwater drain, worldwide, like I have worked on worldwide projects, the minimum velocity should be 0.6 meter per second, something like that. So that is the minimum velocity, so that the drain doesn't, the drain, it is called a self-cleansing velocity. If there is a small mud spot or small nodules of mud or some muck is there, that self-cleansing, pushing and cleaning that mud balls in the drain is possible only if the drain has a minimum 0.6 meter per second velocity. There is a control or value for the maximum velocity also. It is somewhere around 2.4 meter per second. Why this maximum velocity is controlled? Because more than that, if there is a velocity of water inside a drain, that turbulent water will corrode the walls of a drain. Even if it is RCC, PCC or brick walls or stone masonry, the stones may chip off or come out, and that will be the failure of a drainage system. So all these checks require to be done. Like especially those students or engineers who are not very comfortable with RCC and structural steel design, still they have place in the industry. If they want to design, they can go into this underground departments and learn the drainage, design of plant drainage. And there are various checks also you require to do. Like as I showed you, road and drain layout, these drains should not clash with any other underground system. Suppose there will be so many footings, there will be buildings on the sides of the road, and that buildings will have footings which will be underground. Your drain cannot clash with the footings of a building. Buildings are important, their footings are much more important. So all these clash checks, last point, all the clash checks or fouling with underground facilities also need to be done. You cannot just say I have done a drain I've not seen here and there whether there is a building, whether there is a footing, or whether there is an underground pipe. No, you have to see all possible things, and then only your design is complete. So this is how we design, suppose, stormwater drain system. Coming to the contaminated uh, rainwater sewer or firewater sewer, they are not open. It is contaminated. Some contamination is there. So it is water mixed with water, but still, if something falls in it, even a human foot falls in it, it can have some hazard. So this is CRWS is always a closed conduit system. We have learned in hydraulics open channel flow. So SWD is open channel flow. CRWS is closed conduit system, closed pipe flow. And CRWS material of construction is generally carbon steel pipes or RCC pipes. You must have seen RCC pipes on the sides of the road, our municipal roads, when some construction is going on, huge RCC pipes are there. So they are used for they can be used for CRWS type of system.